Hey y'all, it's Jennifer Farr Davis, and it is now May. It's May 5th, which means most of us have been staying at home and sheltering in place for about a month and a half now, and regulations are starting to lift, and our lives will start to change, and some of us will go back to work, some of us will reconnect with friends and family that we haven't seen in a really long time. But I hope that we take some of the tools that helped us through the past 7 or 8 weeks with us as things start to shift and change. And I think one of the silver linings of this period has been that so many people have discovered the accessibility and therapeutic properties, and also just the joy and connection of taking walks. And yes, it's very simple. It's one foot in front of the other. But much the way you might think yoga is just stretching, if you do it, you know it's so much more. And walking is so much bigger than just taking a stroll in the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be, but what you find is that walking is incredibly rhythmic, and it can put you into this place where your mind releases thoughts, releases stress, releases anxiety, and gets to this very peaceful or meditative state. Another thing about walking, which is so great, is that you don't need any special gear to do it. Most of us can do it out our back doors. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to pay for a membership. And I think that's one thing in our culture. It's like most of us don't walk, and maybe because it's not sexy enough. You know, we sign up for these memberships, or we get these machines that we exercise on. And I think a lot of these are just marketed in a much sexier way, or to deliver much faster results. And maybe, you know, walking isn't that sexy, but it's just so inclusive, which is great. And you can do it on your own time, and it's free. And the other thing is, it's just the connection it gives you. And I know so many of us have felt distant from our work or loved ones over the past month and a half or 2 months, but I know my neighbors better now than I ever have. And I've lived in the same house for almost 12 years. But just walking the same streets over and over, I've seen native plants that I haven't noticed before. I've talked to neighbors. I've seen their kids playing in the yard. And I feel more connected, and I have a stronger sense of identity to where I live and to my neighborhood. And also, as we think about things that are healthy for us or good for us, like on one hand, when we think about our diet, and we sort of identified that artificial colors and flavors might not be the best thing for our bodies, I also think when it comes to pace of life, we've just ramped it up so much in two ways. Number one, just like the multitasking and the amount of work that we do. And then the pace of transportation. Like, we are so used to going 70 miles per hour in a car, or getting on a train or an airplane. And that's not the way our mind was built to process things. Like, we're not used to processing things that come at us at 60 miles per hour. And so to just walk like 2 miles per hour, and to be able to like, not just like take it in, not just see it blur by us, but to just observe and appreciate what we're passing and process it, feels so good. And then some of us have also experienced the fact that, like, during Corona, you know, we feel removed and more distant and lonely, but then you walk with someone 6 feet away, and it's such good conversation because there's no interruptions, right? There's no distractions, and you're not at a noisy bar, and there's not other people interjecting, and just that quality time together and quality focused conversation is so good. Or for other folks like myself, I have young kids at home, so there's always people around, and there's always noise, and to go outside and have some quiet time and have some solitude, that is so powerful. So yes, it's just walking, it's just putting one foot in front of the other, but it is also so much more. And I think in a time where it feels like progress has halted in so many ways, there are other opportunities for us to move forward in these positive mental, physical, and emotional ways. And I don't think there's anything more hopeful than just literally putting one foot in front of the other at a time when so many other things feel like they're stuck. So keep going, keep walking, even when things start to change and there's more options and there's sexy workout classes and clothes. Just don't forget how to put your sneakers on and walk out your front door, because it's a gift. And I'll see you out there.